First, we shall go for the second series of the popular show Glow. This was launched last year on Netflix, based loosely on a real ladies' wrestling promotion that took place in the 80s, of which there are documentaries about. Justin, I read through Matt's excellent review and an article on the website, worth a look. We've all watched the whole of the second series. It's all up on Netflix, all 10 episodes, or was it 11 in the end?
Yeah, you're right.
10. I think one of the things that Matt did very well in his piece was say that actually the focus has come primarily off of Ruth, played by Alison Brie, and he's on to, and you're going to have to help me with the character's name, Debbie. And more of the focus this year is on her trials and tribulations. She ends up, as she is the most well-known actress on the team, she ends up getting her own contract as a producer and has to fight with the other two producers and the director for sort of, equal footing. And also she's dealing with the fact that she's now separated and getting a divorce from her husband. But a lot of what you see in the build-up is them sort of recording the television show and the arguments with the network about changes and scheduling. And you do get a bit more of each other character. You don't get a lot of background into their personal life. A few people do. The welfare queen, you get a bit of her and her son going to Stanford. The show builds up to this episode 8, which I've seen a lot of people writing about, and having watched it recently, I can sort of admire the bold direction that they've gone with in this episode.
This was the funny episode. This was more comedy.
So what they did was that they build up most of the storylines to a point where Alison Brie's character is injured in real life in the ring by Debbie after she has taken a line of cocaine because she feels a bit helpless with her situation. And after that, it's kind of like, right, we're all bonded together. There's some lovely scenes where they all come to the hospital and do stupid
I like
things.
That episode.
It was. And I think at that point, is it Mike, the director? Sam, the director, kind of feels like, he's come back more on side with listening to the girls being creative. And I think that's the turning point.
Because at that point, I think the sort of the bit we skipped over was the sort of stuff with Ruth and the president of the network that they're on, the cable network.
KDTV.
Sort of inviting her for dinner at his private cottage at a hotel, and obviously you sort of know where it's going. This is their attempt at sort of looking at the sort of the Me Too movement and the things in the 1980s, how it was then, and the reactions to what happened. Obviously he wants to sleep with her, and she leaves while he's running a bath, and Debbie's reaction is, oh, you should have gone through with it, or you should have at least sort of played along. Sam's reaction is to smash the guy's car up. But
that's a beautiful scene.
Yeah, as a result of what happens, the president bumps them to 2 a.m. and inevitably to be cancelled. And because they're going out, he says, right, just do whatever you want. And episode 8 is the result of them doing whatever they want, basically, which is
so episode 8, instead of following the girls, you watch effectively an episode of Glow that they have put together, including bad local TV adverts for quilting, which I think was hilarious. So actually you're effectively watching the show they make. There's a few things that are a bit sketchy. I think that storyline I didn't really believe, her joining the AV club just because she wants to be like a dad.
Oh, that was one of my favourite things.
It didn't work for me. The other thing that didn't work for me was the head producer, I can't remember his name, the young flashy guy. The search for his obviously gay butler.
I would agree with that, Gary, that a lot of that story, because it turned out, he was gay, and you found out at the end that he'd died, presumably from AIDS.
Oh, right, yeah, that's true.
Bash. But I was reading an interview with, I think it was the actor who plays Bash, and possibly Kate Nash as well, who plays
Bash and Nash together.
Britannica.
Yeah, plays Britannica, and they sort of got married in the ring at the end so she could stay in the country. And then also the stuff with Arthur and the new junk chain. I can't remember the character's name, the stripper who, like in the last 2 or 3 episodes, become like a couple. And it's like, well, you should have shown us this build up in the prior episodes. And I think you touched on it there, that one of the biggest problems I have with Glow is that there's so many characters, and most of them are quite well drawn, well played, that you want to follow them all. And I think the creators want to try and explore all these different themes with all these sort of strong, powerful women, but they've only got 10 half hours to do so. It's so nice to watch a show that is, for the most part, quite fun to watch. even though you said it's got some dark themes, the main thing is the sort of the camaraderie between the women, the sort of the fun characters, the campy nature of Glow, the sort of fact that these are all sort of outcast women, like, for example, Sheila the She-Wolf, who I really like as a character. Do you think that they're leading to a season 3 because at the end they get cancelled, but then they're getting a floor show in Vegas, so the last scene is them all going off in a bus together to Vegas to do this show? I thought it was sort of like the end of it, or it could be the end of it?
It felt like it could be, and they haven't confirmed a third series. But if this was the end, it would work as an end.
I think that's the thing. I think the ending to me said we're going to go in a different direction if we do a third series.
Yeah, to Vegas.
But and I think the other thing is, as Matt will back me up, 1980s wrestling promotions were always threatened with cancellation and then reborn or changed.
The actual Glow changed networks at least once, and I think the Vegas thing. I'm trying to remember that documentary. I think that the Vegas thing did happen.
Still on Netflix, I think, somewhere. I think I saw it pop up yesterday. I think they should. I mean, when you look at it, the star power in this series is really Alison Brie.
And Marc Maron.
But how much of a big name is Marc Maron?
The Americans.
I think doing a third series is possible. I'm still not sure what Netflix's criteria is for renewing shows.
There was a very interesting article that you sent me, Luca, that we both read. That apparently the criteria a lot of the time
thanks again for that.
How many people finish watching the series? Because it was looking at why they cancelled Everything Sucks as opposed to. Is it One Day at a Time?
Oh, yeah.
And
I did read that. I apologise.
That people weren't watching Everything Sucks to its conclusion, whereas they were watching One Day at a Time, because they'd had similar sort of number of viewers, but less people watching Everything Sucks to the end. So it's based on the fact that how many people finish the series. That would be what they would go on for Glow. And judging by what a lot of people have been saying on Twitter, that a lot of them have already finished the series. And I think it's one of those that once you start, you can't stop. And I think we've all found that. I mean, I watched it in 2 days.
So all big fans of Glow, you can get all 10 episodes of Series 1 and 2 now on your Netflix button.